Pakenham compared to Werribee. Which one should you be investing in? In this video, guys, I'm going to talk to all things regarding Pakenham versus Werribee, because right now it is two of the most interesting suburbs for investors to be considering to be investing into in Melbourne right now. And as we know, Melbourne is currently exploding like never before. It is no secret anymore. Places are growing in value, and some of the key suburbs that people are looking at are Werribee and Pakenham. So the first thing I'm going to do is break down the data behind these locations, and we're going to compare them metric by metric. And honestly, this idea was brought on by a community member who asked me to compare these two locations, and I thought what a wonderful YouTube video idea that would be. And so if we start to look at Pakenham, we can see that the average median price is $701,000 with a rough yield of around 3.71%. And when we start to scroll down, we can see that prices are actually starting to improve with about 2% growth over the past year, and there are good quarter changes of around 1%. And this is just the start as well. And we've also had median rents start to rise at almost 5% over the past year, which is really good because in some Melbourne suburbs, rents have not been rising at all. And once we start to scroll down, we can see the ERSAT score is around 4, which is pretty good from a socioeconomic perspective, with only 31% rented to owner-occupier ratio. It's a very favorable owner-occupier suburb. It's not like a renter suburb. Affordability is very good, sitting around 35 years. Yes, this suburb is quite far away from the city. However, it's still very affordable for owner-occupiers, investors, etc. And we can see over the past couple of months, stock levels have been rapidly decreasing, with more owner-occupiers and investors showing interest in this area, and we are seeing the effects of that with prices going up. Days on market trend doesn't look as attractive, but I can tell you from boots on the ground that Pakenham is definitely picking up some steam. 6 months ago, this wasn't a thing at all. And we can see vacancy rates have been quite high, around the 2.5%, which is usually higher than what I like to see, but you need to compare this like for like, and a lot of suburbs in Melbourne are always sitting around the 1.5 to 2.5% mark, so you may wish to trade that off. And that's from the Pakenham side of things. When we start to look at Werribee, which is on literally the complete opposite side of Melbourne, we can see the median price is a bit lower at $663,000 with a yield of around 3.62%. So both locations in terms of yield are not very good. They are on the lower end of the spectrum, but that is what just Melbourne has to offer, unfortunately. And we're going to go into cash flow analysis a bit later in the video as well. And when we start to look at the metrics similar to Pakenham, we can see positive price growth in Werribee finally. And it's important that there is some positive price movement because it gives us confirmation about the area. And very similarly, median rents have been rising with about 5% in the past year. So in terms of Werribee rents rising and Pakenham rents rising, they are pretty much equal. Pakenham slightly leads ahead in terms of the ERSAT score at 4 compared to Werribee, which is sitting at 3, and a slightly bit more renters in Werribee, but that is also very, very similar. And when we start to look at affordability, it's actually more affordable compared to Pakenham, with Werribee sitting under 35 years, which honestly in a capital city is extremely affordable, which means there is potential for value there and a lot more interest from owner-occupiers. Now, as you can see, stock levels have been rapidly decreasing, with stock on market falling and the days on market actually looking stronger in Werribee. And so when you compare like for like between Pakenham and Werribee, you can see the days on market's a little bit more flat in Pakenham, and in Werribee it is falling rapidly. But I can tell you from boots on the ground, Pakenham is also really heating up with a lot more BAs there now. And so honestly, both on Werribee and Pakenham, if you are choosing to invest in these locations, you want to be proactive, you want to be putting in offers quickly, and you want to be building those relationships with agents as soon as possible. Now, one thing you will notice straight off the bat with these metrics is that the vacancy rate is at 3.46% compared to Pakenham, which is only 2.5%. So much larger vacancies in Werribee, and this is something I've talked about previously in my other video regarding West Melbourne, that this location just does have a lot more vacancies, which means it's going to take longer to rent out your property, it's going to be harder to increase your rents, and it's also going to mean more competition between current investors already in that market. Now, we can see the vacancy rate is falling, but it's still very, very high. Now, one thing you will notice between both locations in Werribee and Pakenham is the immense amount of vacant land around the property. When you look at Werribee, And when you look at Pakenham, there's just a lot of vacant land, which means there is potential for new housing to be developed, which is already happening. When you start to look at Pakenham, Pakenham itself only has 125 building approvals, and similarly, Werribee has only 252 building approvals. So in terms of housing in the particular suburbs itself, it's not too bad. But when you start to look at an LGA level of Werribee and Pakenham, and I'll bring up this data for you guys so you can have a look at, and you start to look down on the Cardinal Shire, which has Pakenham in it, and you start to scroll down, you can see that there's over 1,000 building approvals in Pakenham ready to go, possibly coming online in the next 12 to 18 to 24 months. And when we start to look at Wyndham City Council and we start to look at the building approvals, we can see that there's a lot more, sitting at almost 4,000 building approvals that is possibly coming, 4,000 new houses coming onto the market, which is only going to add on to the stock levels in terms of the amount of rentals, as well as more competition and more supply, which can have a slightly dampening effect on capital growth. However, generally speaking, these take a while to come, 12, 18, 24 months, and they don't all come in one go. So short-term capital growth is not going to be really affected for Werribee or Pakenham, but long-term can always be a bit more uncertain. And so when you really break down the metrics between Pakenham and Werribee, Pakenham really takes the edge by just a very small amount in terms of the less vacancies as well as less building approval. However, there is a little bit more to actually consider in these locations because, like I said, they are extremely similar, which is a point that you need to consider. But just before I do go any further, if you do have any questions or you're lost between choosing between locations, between Pakenham, between Werribee, between towns, or between Bendigo, then you need to be part of the private community. We have over 280 members helping each other out, sharing ideas, sharing locations, thinking about which is the right place to buy, answering questions about building and pest inspections, finding the right property manager. And there's close to 50 reviews for you guys to go have a read of and their experiences. It is an absolute no-brainer at $35 a month. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you can always contact me and we can sort something out. It is an absolute steal, guys. And don't worry, I'm going to give you a discount code. So use Pakenham10 if you want 10% off for your first month in the private community. Try it out once. I know you will love it and I know you'll stick around, but let's get back into the video. And now, like I said, between Pakenham and Werribee, the prices to buy in are similar. The data behind it is similar. So then which one should you be investing into? Well, I'll get onto that. And these are just some properties I have recently pulled up that have been sold. And the reason I'm looking at the sold and not the asking price is because the asking price is not a true reflection of what the properties will be sold for in Victoria, because agents are horrible and they always underquote it. That's another story for another day. And if we look at this one, Pakenham in 8 Cara Street, this one was sold for $627,000 on the 3rd of July. Obviously went under offer probably 30 or 60 days before, but let's just look at this example here. $627,000 or $650K will get you a pretty decent quality property in Pakenham like this one here. And when we look at the rough rental returns of a property like this, which is a 3x1, and we start to scroll down, we can see a rough 3x1 here, which is going for $520 per week. And if I look for any more, you're getting a 3x2 for another $520 per week as well. So it might be a bit less, 3x2 for $480, but a bit older condition style property. So you can roughly say between $500 to $520 is a realistic amount for a property like this. And so when we start to plug in the numbers at $627,000 at a 20% deposit at a $520 rent per week, you're really looking at about negative $17,000 in terms of cash flow per year before any tax considerations. And that is a bit of a chunk out of your savings and pockets. So make sure if you are considering to invest into a location like this with lower yields that you can borrow more in the future and you can hold the negative cash flow, right? But that's an example of what a Pakenham property will look like in terms of the numbers. Take a screenshot if you want and have an assessment of that. And if we look at something very similar in Werribee, this is another similar property sold on the 30th of June 2025. Another 3x1. I try to go for like by like, but this is slightly older, but still a good property in Werribee that I would consider if I was looking to invest into a location. And when we start to look at the rental properties for a property like this, we can see another 3x1, which is nicer, is going for $435 per week in Werribee. And we start to scroll down more. I'm looking for other 3x1s or 3x2s to compare. That's a 4x1, 3x2 for $450 per week, a new property, $470 per week, and another one that's under application. So realistically speaking, you're getting around $420 to $435 per week. And when we start to plug in those numbers, we can see Werribee, $605,000, same 20% deposit, but realistically speaking, your rent per week is $435 on a good case. So your rental yield is a lot lower at 3.74%, which means you're negative $20,000, an extra $3,000 in terms of cash flow, which may not seem like a lot, but it is still a fair amount. That is the difference between you taking your family on a holiday or making that extra repayment to your actual loan. So you need to take that into consideration when assessing your property. And the reason I brought up the property analysis is because the buy price between Werribee and Pakenham are extremely similar. You can get a property for around $650,000 if you are proactive in searching and finding a property. However, the real message I really want to say in this video is, do you choose between Pakenham or Werribee? The answer is you can go either. And I know that may seem like a letdown, but in terms of actually choosing the right suburb, both suburbs are worth considering at the moment because Melbourne's property market is rising. A lot of the suburbs throughout Melbourne are rising in value, and if you have a specific budget and you're looking between Werribee and Pakenham, what will honestly make the decision for you is not the suburb itself, but the property deal that you can get. If you can find a good deal in Werribee, for example, that will get you the higher yield around 4 to 4.5 to 5% if you are very proactive over the other property in Pakenham, which might only yield you 4%, then I'm going to go with the property in Werribee. Because honestly, for me, if Werribee increases in value by 18% and Pakenham increases by 20%, I'm not going to lose sleep over 2% of growth. But for me, I'm going to look for the right deal in terms of the numbers, the quality of the property, the location where that property is located, specifically the pocket, and that will be the determining factor if I had to choose between Werribee and Pakenham. If you're waiting weeks and months before choosing a decision about which is the right suburb, you shouldn't be thinking like that. You can look across Werribee and Pakenham, which I highly do recommend people to do when they're investing, to look across two suburbs. And then if you find the right deal, that is the one that you go for. So stop wasting time and get out there investing, all right? And I hope this video has helped you. I hope I'm trying something different. If you like it, let me know down in the comments below and jump to the private community as always. Till next time, thank you very much.